If you look around, there's countless examples of people making their dream come to life. And for creatives who love and live their art, of course, we're not the most fond of the idea of becoming content creators to become artists, or doing anything besides the art in general. Having to constantly promote yourself is not something that's for everybody. Honestly, I hate it too. But if there's one thing that holds true always, if you really want it, you're gonna make something shake. And if you don't make it, it's not anybody's fault but your own. If you're of sound mind and sound body, if you're living in the first world and you have big dreams, there's one thing that you have to understand. You are directly responsible for everything that happens to you. Life is not happening to you. It's happening through you. And if you don't reach your goals, it's because you did not want it bad enough. There's three kinds of people. Those who do whatever they want, those who do whatever's needed, and those who do whatever it takes. Let's talk about it. There's always an excuse you can make. The algorithm doesn't like my stuff. I'm not comfortable in front of a camera, and so on and so forth. Hey man, just put the fries in the bag, bro. You're not the only person in the world with talent. You will not be the last person to be born with talent and waste it. Sadly, this happens all the time. It's not necessarily even being lazy. It's really just a lack of focused effort and lack of understanding of what's needed to get to where you want to be. And that is the downfall of a lot of creatives and businessmen and anybody with a dream, honestly. In this world, especially of music, talent is not the only piece of the puzzle. The difference between those who make it and those who don't, well, first of all, is nepotism, connections, and a bunch of other shit. But besides that, those who have none of that got there from hard work and a whole lot of luck. But not just the regular luck, the luck that comes from consistently putting yourself in position to take advantage of it. It's not to shame you, but if you feel ashamed right now, you should. Because that just means you're doing whatever you want. We can take it up at least one more level. Let's take some examples. Somebody like Tyla. We saw her blow up. Some people may have seen an instant success with, Water. She came out of nowhere.
Next song I'm dropping. So, you guys are gonna be one of the first to hear it. This song is called Wont.
But what you don't see is the hundreds or thousands of hours grinding on TikTok, trying to build a fan base to release the song that will put her in her position. It doesn't even have to be as grandiose as a pop star. At varying levels, this usually holds true. Joji, DDG, NLE Choppa, and various underground artists. Even, the Goose Creek Freak himself. Or like Tizo Touchdown. All of these people have publicly created or are known for creating. Either to, push their craft a little bit further or just to get on in the first place. In any case, nowadays they're more known for their art. At least by the general, radio and pre-made playlist listening public. You may be thinking, well, everybody isn't doing it. Why do I have to do it? What do you mean everybody isn't doing it? Name somebody that isn't creating or utilizing creators as a form of promotion. Even the fake opium guys are, strategically appearing in front of people and consistently. They try to appear, mysterious while they do it. And it's a little weird, which is part of the aesthetic. But all of that is a form of content. Everything is formulaic and put together. They're strategically feeding people to make them want more. And if you don't have a plan, now's the time to make one. This is the part where I don't want anybody to be confused though. If you believe wholeheartedly that you're doing whatever is enough to get on, if you're just putting stuff out into the world and hoping the right person finds you, I wish you good luck, but that's all that you're counting on is luck. Because no matter how special your talent is, there's other people with similar special talents as well, working just a bit harder. Do you want to achieve your dreams, or do you just like the idea of dreaming? Do you just like the idea of the big house, of having everything that you've ever wanted given to you by the things you create? Because what is it that you're doing to get there? You may understand that you have work to do, but there's a difference between knowing and doing. You may know everything it takes to get to where you want to be, but will you actually do the work? We all have our circumstances, our demons, the things that we're fighting, and still have to get up every day and put a play together for our future. You gonna sit down and put the work in? Or will you just become a victim to your own circumstances? Will you grind it out even when it doesn't work the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, and 1,000 times after that? If so, then you're doing what's required. But if not, just know some people want it more than you, which is no knock to you at all. because we all have our priorities, and at times, sometimes they want it a little bit too much. I spoke about this a little bit in previous videos. Some people see how hard it is to get on and make it their mission to get on despite all of their morals. And everything that they could stand for or everything that anybody else has ever stood for goes right out the window. Sell their body out, sell their soul out, and sell their dignity to make it. Which technically means that they want it more than you because they're willing to do what it takes. But that's not something I recommend. However, if you can sleep at night, I won't knock it. Because at the end of the day, it's not my life. Your kids gotta eat, and I can't feed them. And these concepts are part of what makes this music thing and all the art that I love so enjoyable to me. Overcoming all of the obstacles and being smart enough or focused enough in order to display your talent to the world. But on the flip side, that's also what kind of turns me away from certain artists that I feel like didn't really put that work in, at least in a way that I respect. They took shortcuts, they had relationships, they didn't have to put in the same amount of pain as most people. I won't knock the music, I won't knock their career all that much. I just wouldn't support them or, champion them as much as I would others. It just feels off. Is it worth doing if it comes to you easy? You would never be fulfilled in the first place. And that's why you see all these people that got there through whatever means they got there by. It's so easy for them to fall off, or they're just never fulfilled with their situation. On the flip side, look at the enjoyment on all these people's faces after struggling and fighting and planning and doing the hard part of what it is they love. That's an accomplishment that sticks with you. Of course, afterwards, you move on to more and more goals, but that sense of accomplishment that you get with that first completion, knowing that you put in the work, you created the plans with your team or whoever else, should create a positive feedback loop that keeps you going on and healthily into your next endeavors. There's my new favorite tweet right now, just from a random Twitter account, which I hate Twitter so much, but sometimes there's gems on here. He said, "People who are afraid of being seen and talked about cannot reach their full potential." I don't know whose quote that is, but that should resonate with somebody. Hopefully it resonates with at least one person. Of course, don't do anything that you don't morally agree with or are not comfortable with on that level. But if you're just scared, come on, bruh. If you know you like dancing, but you're scared to dance on the internet because you think you're gonna look uncool to fucking Jeremy Dillon from 7th grade, please be real. Jeremy hates his job. And even if he didn't, I would hope that other people's approval isn't the basis of your life decisions. Some people will do whatever it takes. Some people will do whatever is necessary. And some people will do whatever they can. But even after all of this, a lot of you will still just do whatever you want. For every one of you, there's always somebody else, somewhere, working just as hard or harder. My philosophy is, honestly, I'm so blessed, it's actually disrespectful to not work as hard as possible for what I want. There's many people that would rather be in my or your situation. Just look from an outside perspective. The arts are a game of talent and hard work, but they're also a game of marketing and planning. How hard do you have to go to make your dreams come true? If we're learning from the examples of our businessmen, actors, rappers, anybody that's doing what you want to do, the answer is probably harder than you're working right now. But you can fix that.